This is my Minecraft survival world in the new 1.20 update. And so far we have built a ton of buildings in our world, but none of them are connected together, which is why in this episode I would like to make a bunch of paths similar to ones that I've made for the barn, only we're going to be connecting up every single one of our buildings. And just to make a fun little path, we're also going to be making a bridge going over the pond. And if I've got some time, we'll also do a couple other little things as well. So to get started, I really want to begin with the bridge. And considering our library is so close to the edge, I'm thinking we're going to have the bridge facing this direction, going from this side to this side. And I already prepped a bunch of wood for us so we wouldn't have to chop down all of our trees. And I've also started growing all these spruce trees in mass production. So we definitely won't run out of wood anytime soon. But to start off, let's make some wood and some trapdoors for us. Maybe a few slabs, things like that. I'd also like to grab a little bit of our stone and of course keep smelting some more so that we can incorporate that into our build palette as well. Now the pond really isn't that big, so I don't want to overshadow it with this bridge, but I still do want it to look like a significant piece in our world. So if we stick with a 2 wide path right down the middle, then we can add side supports and things like that without making it look too big. I also want it to go up in a little bit of a curve, so if we take our slabs and start making our way up a little bit, kind of like this, then we can go up just a little bit again with the slabs, and then we can go slightly above on the top with our trapdoors. And by doing that, I think we've made a nice little curve. Maybe need a little more sturdiness in the middle, but that's nothing a few trapdoors can't fix. And now we've made a very nice curve that's small enough and subtle enough that it goes across the pond without overtaking it, but it also still has enough design to it that it is a nice feature in the world. Now if we add a little bit more support here, kind of like this, with support beams on every major section of the bridge, then we can come through and strip all the logs, add some trapdoors on top so that you can't see the wood grain, and then I think I'd like to do a couple of fence gates just along the side, maybe like that. That kind of looks strange. So I'm thinking maybe if we drop this one down a little bit more and then add some trapdoors above it, that's kind of like a railing. And then it will just go up as these go up. I don't know. I don't think I like that. So let's try a different design. I'm thinking we can go up a little bit here in the center, and that way we'll be able to utilize some of our stone. We can probably start going like this with our stone walls so that it can go up with it and block it in, so that we'll be able to stay on the bridge properly without worrying about falling off. And then it will also blend into the poles for the little canopy area. And speaking of the canopy area, I'm thinking that we can start doing something similar to down here, where it just slowly goes up with the trapdoors into some spruce slabs on top of the poles, which can then go up one more layer and then be connected by some trapdoors in the middle. So now I just have to do that same thing on this side, and then we can connect it down the middle with some trapdoors and fill the center in with some stone slabs to give it some variation in color. And just like that, that is our bridge pretty much complete. I'm thinking that just here in these corners, we can switch these trapdoors out for a couple of stairs just to give it a little bit more rounder of an appearance. And then after that, I'm pretty satisfied with how that ended up turning out. I think it fits in with the color scheme of the library and all of our other builds really well. And it's also a pretty structurally sound bridge, which I often have a hard time making. And with all of these being trapdoors and slabs, we shouldn't have to worry about any monsters spawning on there. But nonetheless, I think I would like to light up the area with some lanterns, mostly just because they would look cute. And it kind of breaks up that wall in the middle that was getting a little bit repetitive. But now that we have the bridge complete, I think it's time to head on to making our paths. So I think the first thing that would be easiest to connect to would of course be our little library right here. And then the next we can bring this all the way close over to the Fletchers. A kind of curvy path like this should do. And then we can also bring this same path and connect it up to our barn, kind of like this. And the barn of course is already connected to our farm and chicken coop. So now is going to be the struggle, now that we've gotten all the builds right next to each other, is we need to bring this path all the way over to the blacksmith. And I'm thinking that we kind of just connect it from over here because I don't want to take away any opportunity to build in the center of our area just by putting some paths there. So if we connect it up, coming straight from the chicken coop down this area right here, curving a little bit into the front, then we can go straight from the barn area right here into the chicken coop or the wheat farm, or continue our path down here into the blacksmith. Who just shut the door on us? That was rude. How dare you? It's okay. I forgive you. And now, even harder than the blacksmith is probably going to be figuring out how to connect up our main house over here to something over there. Now, I think that was the only reason why I was considering making the bridge go this direction rather than this direction, was so that we could come from across over there to right here and then immediately connect to the house. But without that being there, I think we're gonna have to find a roundabout way, which will likely be taking out this little bush right there so that we can bring this pathway all the way around the pond and towards the house. And we may have to get rid of this weird Christmas tree looking thing really quick. And now that we've got that out of the way, we should be good to start connecting these paths, which I've actually never done path blocks on this type of dirt, so it's kind of fun. And then we can kind of remove some of the sand and replace it with our dirt, just so we're not going through the middle of the beach. And now, just like that, all of the builds within this area are connected, leaving one last one over in the desert, which isn't too hard now that I've done all those paths over there. And once we've hit the desert area right here, we can start working in some dirt to try to blend it in with the other path. And to help the dirt blend in a little bit as well, I also grabbed some mossy cobblestone from the skeleton spawner that we had at last episode, and we can kind of just bring those two together. And I'm also going to go through and just kind of flatten some of these, giving it a little bit more texture. And then finally, I'm thinking some regular cobblestone, then some stone brick slabs, and of course a little bit of regular stone. And just so we get a little bit of pop of color and some blending between some of these dirt blocks, I think I'm going to come through here and finish the path off with some spruce slabs. And I think that blends together pretty okay. And I don't want this to be a perfect path, so all of those mixtures of colors together, all the random blocks, I think do really well to show that this is just a broken down desert village off to the side of our more developed town. And by more developed means we just have a little bit cleaner paths. But after all that, I think our path system is starting to look excellent in our world, which means that our main build project for the episode is complete, which also gives me a little bit more time to finally get some of those quality of life updates for this world complete. So I think the first thing that I want to do is take all of the emeralds that we've collected so far, along with all of our wood and sticks, and go trade all of it with our Fletcher for a few more emeralds. Then we can use those emeralds to buy a couple of mending books from the villager. We need 3 for all of our armor, 1 for a diamond shovel that we'll eventually get, and then I think that should be everything, so 4 should do. We're just gonna need a couple more emeralds for that, and then we can take our 3 mending books all the way over to the blacksmith's anvil and apply it to the rest of our armor. And now we're completely shiny. And now that we've got mending on everything that we have available, of course we still don't have that diamond shovel yet, but we'll get some mending for it later when we need it. But we do have the rest of our armor now available to mend, so we can make our way over to the skeleton XP farm, where we can sit here and punch these guys for a little bit until we have completely mended all of our armor. And now we should have completely healed up boots, chest plate, and pants, and axe. And while we're in the spirit of enchanting everything, I figured we might as well go diamond hunting to get 1 more diamond for our shovel, and then 2 more so that we can finish off the enchanting area with an enchanting table. And instead of doing it the boring cave mining way, I might as well go in here since we found a bastion last episode. And I can already see a chest right over here, so I think I'm gonna dig my way over. And I really haven't gone through bastions more than once or twice, so I'm trying to remember. I believe the only guys we have to worry about are the ones with axes. And as long as they don't see us open the chest, we should be okay. So if we just block ourselves in here for a moment, then we can check this chest, which just has iron and a golden apple, which is still really good, I will admit, but it's definitely not the diamonds that we were looking for. And I'm already spotting another chest over in that corner. I think it's the exact same thing, just replicated. So if we can make our way over there, we might be able to get that guy. Now, this guy is blocked, I believe. So if I, oh no. Oh, that was so close. I'm so glad I didn't hit someone by accident. And just a couple more iron. Ooh, ancient debris. I completely glossed over that. That's actually pretty good loot, which I think means that this floor is completely cleared. So let's see if we can head down to the next floors. And it doesn't look like there's any loot on this floor. And yet again, that's pretty much a no. So I think what we're gonna do is start heading towards the center where they're all really guarding it. And I think the best way to start taking these guys out is just by shooting them from afar. And I should have a 2-block gap right here, so he shouldn't be able to reach me. Oh, I aggravated all of them now. Oops. And I think that was everyone. And I've accidentally angered the regular pigmen, so I'm hoping I can just kind of negotiate with this guy, maybe give him some gold. Do you get less angry if you get gold? Yes, he's just staring at it. Oh, there he goes. Okay, he's not angry at me anymore. Perfect. And I'm seeing a spawner over there. I'm actually not quite sure what it spawns, I'm not gonna lie. I'm assuming the little piglin brutes, so I'm gonna be very careful. Actually, those might be magma cubes. Okay, that's not bad at all. I can just take those out from here. And then we should be able to just grab a bunch of blocks so we can block ourselves in the middle. And then hopefully we can sneak our way in here without getting hurt and completely block it off. Which means that all of this gold and whatever is in these chests is officially ours. Oh yes, perfect. And mending, which is mighty convenient considering the theme of this episode. Okay, so we've got both of the diamonds that we wanted, a whole netherite ingot, and a smithing template, and of course the diamond sword. Now we just gotta grab all of this gold, hopefully without aggravating anyone. And then the final place that I think I want to loot here, I want to say there's some loot on the ceiling, so I'm gonna check that out. And I'm thinking there is not anything up here. I think one of the types of bastions actually has some loot on the top. I'm not quite sure. I really don't understand the difference between all the bastions and its loot. So I'm probably just going to take all that we got today. Oh, there's a totally different section of this bastion. Okay, well, I guess we have a little bit more to explore just before we get home. Oh, this is like a maze. Oh no. Oh, hello. Well, I think I found something. Oh, definitely. I definitely need to block this area off because this one is the first double chest that I've ever seen. So hopefully it's got some good stuff in it. I think that should be good. And let's see. Pork chop. Incredible. Pretty normal stuff, I would say. Got some golden carrots, some obsidian, some more arrows, things like that. Definitely a little bit underwhelming considering it's a double chest, not gonna lie. I think I saw another room over here. So, oh yeah, there's definitely guards. I'm gonna block myself in and see if we can kind of smack these guys. We've cleared this area out, I believe. Oh, perfect, there's a chest. Oh, there's two chests. Awesome. Hopefully 2 separate chests is much better than the 1 double chest that was over there. So, we've got a knockback iron sword, soul speed 3 gold boots, definitely will take those, some more carrots, some more gilded blackstone, and some gold armor. I was hoping we would get one more chest full of diamonds, but doesn't look like we're going to. Maybe there's another room, possibly? No, there is not. And there's not anything on top like I thought there was going to be. I'm not really sure which bastion I'm thinking of with that one. But I think with all that complete, that means it's officially time to head back to the overworld, where we can put all of our stuff away, and then we can finally make that diamond shovel. And of course, come back over to the mending villager, who I've had to really lock in with his door if you guys haven't noticed. He likes to escape. And then we can buy our final piece of mending and put it over here on the shovel, leaving us with full mending tools and full mending armor, which is absolutely huge progress for this episode. But I think the best progress of all was, of course, our cute little bridge. So if you guys happen to enjoy this episode, please do consider subscribing, because I would love to see you guys in the next video. And speaking of next videos, here's a couple that I think that you would enjoy.